Okie dokie. So today I have an old Dell laptop to take apart. Just to see what's inside here. Smaller. Oh no, those are Phillips. Let's see. That's all of them. That way. Small hard drive. There's our RAM memory. Oh, we're going to get a serenade again tonight. This looks like a heat sink, but I'm not positive. That's definitely a heat sink. I guess that's the processor. I don't see any more screws. Get that one. There we go. That would be the Wi-Fi Bluetooth card. Now this past weekend I went and picked up a server rack, this laptop, and a bunch of other goodies from someone not too far from here, about an hour's drive. Picked it all up, found it on Amazon Marketplace. A couple more screws on the back. This one does have a DVD-ROM in it. I don't see any more screws that I haven't hit. Okay, the front side's all loose. I don't see any in here. Got all those, got all those. You're down, you're out. Missed that one right in the middle. Guess so. And I'm at the point where I'm just going to break it. Because I don't seem to be getting any. It seem to be releasing. Granted, this is the first one of these that I've taken apart in this fashion, but shouldn't be that complicated. Seems to be being held right around there. Since we're going to break stuff, put on some gloves. Good grief. $100 Amazon card in there. I'll have to see if that's got anything on it. DVD-ROM. I do not understand why that was being so difficult. But it is apart now, that's for sure. So what we should find in here is some boards with decent value, number of flat packs, number of chips, gold fingers on the memory cards and things of that nature. We got a flat pack VGA right here with a gold corner. Processor will be high in gold, relatively high in gold also. Looks like there were a couple screws under the keyboard that were holding it down. So many small screws in there. I did not have the battery for this, and it looks pretty dang old, so I wasn't worried about it being usable or not. Let's see. There's at least one more here. Like we're down mostly to substructure here. See if we can get the steel out. Separate the steel from the case. Looks like it's got a lot of heat welded plastic pins. Enough of them up, I can get a grip on it. The rest will come out easy. So other than this one little wire that has gold end caps on it, that looks to all be a piece of steel. One little piece of copper or brass on here. That's that steel. Now this piece, if you notice, has a lot of, I mentioned them before, the little brass knurls embedded in the plastic. A little piece of steel over here that didn't come out. So the way that we get these, the way that I generally get them, so I got a small, generally Phillips head screwdriver, one that can go into the hole. Can't get in on these. It's not quite small enough. Do I have... Okay, I've got a very small pair of jeweler's needle nose here, which will get down in there. Of course, the thing just popped off. Well, what you want to do is just get something in there that can fit inside the brass and just twist it out, and it should just pop right out. Yeah, these are all going to pop off. Plastic is fragile and doesn't have a lot of strength in it to begin with, but you get the idea here. Another little nugget of brass, and I'll just do that on each one of them until I've got all of them out, but I'll take care of that later off camera. There's a few more on this side as well that I can see. Let's see if we can get this steel off. There may be another little piece of a couple little pieces of copper there, and where my drill go? Got a few more screws here. Comparatively, I'd say laptops are much more tedious than desktops. So many small screws. Those not screws? I guess they're not. Looks like I might got them. That's your data pad. Oh, look, it came with a little nubbin of brass by itself. I missed a screw, that's why. Guess if you ignore the screws and just leverage it off, you might get the brass to come out with it. So we'll have to take that off and see what's in there. Still. Well, that's all still. A couple little pieces of copper on them. One more wire. Yeah, slice more a little bit. Again, on this side we'll have on the back side of the keyboard, we will have a mylar that'll potentially have silver on it. This one looks like we got a more screw here. That seems like aluminum. I have to go up here. Bailey called me. I don't know. We'll have to see. Take this keyboard apart separately. Plastic. Piece. We'll set aside the grass off of. Now, if memory serves, the screens here just pop apart. LCD screen, and another piece of steel on the back. No copper plate on that. This piece, of course, has a few more brass nubs. it off later. There's another one. Don't know what I do with my... I might be done with the screwdriver for now. That one, these seem to be the opposite and have the plastic through the core on them instead of plastic surrounding them. So this guy I'll take apart, see if there's anything else. Oh, there is some small board there. See if there's anything of value in these other than these circuit boards. Don't touch. I'm touching. Looks like it's got some very tiny brass screws here. When I say very tiny, I mean very tiny. Any more screws? Looks like there may be a couple on that. Well, the LCD screen is definitely broken. So I'll take care of this later. I'll look up and see if there's anything worth keeping in the LCD. If not, I'll just disassemble it. This board has flat pack, a couple little chips on it. With a little tiny flat pack and some surface mount components. Looks like some of these are capacitors, so they may be MLCCs. Got some resistors. Resistors and capacitors for the most part. So VR1 L1, so that's an L, so that's a oh gosh, I forget what that is, inductor or something like that. Put it in boards for now. Keyboard, which I'll take apart later and figure out what, if anything, is of value in there. Should be a silver mylar in there. I know that's what happens on most of the keyboards nowadays, but don't know if that's true for these. Now this will have some gold-plated ends, gold-plated connectors on it on both sides. Fingers. We'll obviously be keeping to do some gold recovery with. Same for this one. Has some gold-plated connectors there. This little mouse board. It's got two little switches on it, so there may be some silver in there. And let's see if we can get this guy off. There we go. Oh, nice. Very gold. These mouse pads have a nice gold plating on almost all the surface there. Connectors there, but most of the flashing is gold. Who knows what's under that little processor as well. In terms of that does look like gold flashing on this one as well as the gold pins that will be on that. So, I mean, it's very, not much, but it does appear to be gold flashing. This one that came off the bottom of the board, it's got a high voltage warning on it. Got another screw here. How's this thing wrapped? Looks like, if I can get through this little cellophane wrapping on it, this is probably the power board for the monitor. A lot of surface mount components again, some MLCCs. One back here looks like it's, yeah, that's going to be your transformer. Interesting that they can make one that small. If I can get that off. I'd like to get that whole board out, but it's just not wanting to do anything here. There we go. Okay, now you can see got a capacitor, or not a capacitor, a transformer there. Tiny little bit of copper in there. MLCCs, probably some gold connectors in here. Don't know what this, oh, that's the connector at the end. This one, unfortunately, is copper flashing. Couple tiny little chips there. Nothing on the backside, really. Main board. Let's see what we got here. So, backside. Got some black covers on here. And I need to get up under here with my knife because I can't feel anything with these gloves on. So, we got some chips. Gold corner BGA. That's probably going to be one of those is Bluetooth, one of them is probably Wi-Fi. Under this one we have there's two screws here. Steel. Couple little tabs that might have something there. Oh, let's see here. Another little piece of steel. These covers have got to have something to do with heat sinks, because a couple of them had a couple of these chips have what looks like dielectric grease to help with cooling. Not dielectric grease, but yeah. This is probably a decent board to send a board sort if you're doing that. Flashing on this looks like it may be gold as well. What little of it I can see. There's some gold-plated pins. Main processor here is a ball grid array with a gold corner. Ball grid array here. Flat pack, chip, flat pack, flat pack. Some other little chips and MOSFETs and things on here. Nice gold-plated item there. Well, of course, have some gold-plated pins in the connectors for the USB and the LAN cable. This side we've got another big processor over here. This one looks like it might be removable. This is probably the main processor. It is, and there's all the lovely gold pins. It's an Intel 1.41 M400 Intel 8004. Oh, 04. So probably a 2004 vintage Intel chip. I'll set that aside. There'll be some gold-plated connectors down in here as well. That's hiding whatever surface mount stuff they got under there. Couple MLCCs or whatnot. They have masked a lot of stuff on this one. That one I don't think there's anything under actually. This one looks like it might have something under it. No, not really. Maybe a surface mount item or two. A few other little chips here and there. This, of course, is your big slot reader, so there'll be some gold pins back here. Capacitor. Not sure what those are. G17. 020, 019. So I have to break those apart. That one there looks like it's got gold legs on that IC. Don't know if the camera is picking that up or not. Most of them look, silver, but that one definitely looks like it's gold legs on it. More fun stuff to take apart. The cooling system looks to be all aluminum on this one, with a cooling fan. That's a nice little piece of cast aluminum. As we said, we got a little bit of memory here. Memory chips with gold fingers. This is nothing but copper. It's got a couple little, the screws on it are feel like they're steel. But this is just a big hunk of copper. I don't know if that would be what category of copper they would put this in, but that's what she is, copper. Just need to remove these screws. This little card, which is either, like I said, the Wi-Fi card, or that I believe is Bluetooth. Although this could be Bluetooth, I don't know. We've got one little ball grid array here, BGA. One gold-plated crystal oscillator there. MOSFET. Don't see anything on the back or anything that would be on the back. And there may be something under that shield. We have under the shield another little ball grid array. Maybe another surface mount or two. Given the size of this board, wouldn't be surprised if most of the flashing is gold also, since the fingers are. And also it's got gold connectors up here for what went on it. Is that everything? Oh, this guy. Blue board on this one. Made in China. ASCII. I'll have to see if that Amazon card's got anything on it. That would be a nice bonus if I just got paid $100 to go pick up a bunch of stuff. One low chip, one low flat pack, MOSFETs, some MLCCs. This side, some other surface mount components. They're tiny, and I can't even read them with my glasses on. So something that we'll take apart later. So, is there anything worth getting out of an old laptop? Yes, of course there is. I mean, obviously we've got a little chunk of copper. Some of them have more copper than others for the heat sinks. There's going to be a little bit of brass in it for the screw inserts. We've got some little bit of steel, not sure where I got a mirror out of. Oh no, that's the piece to the that's the piece of that little cage on that one little board. And tiny bit of wire, and of course the circuit boards with gold fingers. You know, you'll get more gold recovery out of a laptop than you will other items. PCs probably even better, but you know, PCs and laptops are probably going to be two of the best gold recovery sources that we get on a regular basis. Obviously, some telecom boards and things like that will be much better, but you know, it is what it is. We get what we take. Here's little speakers. So what else do I have? Oh, I do have these guys. Is there anything in these guys? I expect there will probably be another board in each of these. The CD-ROM drive here should have a small motor in it. Actually, both of them should have a small motor in them. The CD-ROM or DVD-ROM drive will have a, well, first off, it's got a Learn Filipino disc in it. Book 1, disc 1. Learn Tagalog. That actually may come in handy. My wife is Filipino. This one also obviously has the laser in it for reading the data. Looking to see if there's any more screws visible. Don't see any. Since I do not care if this thing works or not. And I've got 3 more DVD ROMs or CD ROMs to take apart from this batch of stuff. Ribbon cable. The connector that will have some gold pins in it. Gold plated pins. Why am I not? There we go. Steel. And from right here I can see there's a what appears to be a gold, some gold plating right there. And it's possible it's brass, but steel. Okay, so we got another small board here as anticipated. It has a got a couple of little chips in here, some gold fingers on it, of course. Tiny little switcher, it might have some silver. Nice big flat top, flat pack there. Some what looks like MLCCs, and possibly those are tantalum capacitors. Motorboard. See if we can pry this off. There's a little bit of copper for us, and that's not going to be gold, that's going to be brass. This will not come off of this board, obviously. Usually they don't. They're usually glued onto here. It definitely feels like that's the case. This one's not so bad. Got one out of a VCR that is completely glued to the steel. Then we got the laser assembly here. May or may not have anything of value in it. I am going to set it aside. I know I've got at least one more of these around here somewhere. The assembly on this looks like it's probably aluminum. A couple more screws in there. May have some gold fingers on it. So we'll set that aside and keep that as well. Ribbon wires, watch out, they may be gold, they may be copper. Fingers on them are almost always nice to have around. This looks like it's got a little bit of copper, a small copper spool on here too. Got one little tiny screw here. This is, I think, the smallest screwdriver I've got, and it can barely get that. There we go. It's got a magnet in there too, so the rest of that steel. That's that guy. This guy, like I said, need to do a little bit of cleanup, remove a few more screws, but that looks like it's aluminum. Might be steel. That is steel. I thought it was going to be aluminum the way it looked, but nope. Just drop it in there. I will worry about it. And then the hard drive should again have a small motor in it. These are stars. Torxes. They look tiny. Am I going to have one that's small enough? Yeah, that might be too tiny for the ones I've got. That one's probably going to be on here. Nope, that's not going to be small enough. So, can't get into this right now until I get a smaller screwdriver. I'll put that one away, didn't I? That's a little bit big for that. Oh, that's the case for it. So we got a tiny little, we got some screws back here. We might be able to get the board off. Screws on the other side are all very small Torx. These are not wanting to come off with my small screwdriver here. Try them with the number one. I don't think that's the right size for it though. Nope. There we go. If I can get all but one out, I'll be able to break it off. I got all but two of them out. Those just don't want them to budge. There we go. BGA chip. Some nice gold connectors. A little piece of plastic. I have a tiny little motor in there. We might have some more gold fingers here, so I definitely need to get further into this. Those definitely look gold in terms of the contacts and flashing on that. Just need to get some smaller plates. This housing should be cast aluminum. That sounds plastic, honestly. That is my smallest torch, right? That one I can get. It's on this side. I think a one size smaller. And this is a T6. I'm thinking these are T5s. The other option I could do is drill them out. But I don't feel like doing that right now. So, a little more copper that we found. A little more steel. Plastic, more plastic. Plastic. Go take a look at that. So that's about it. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Have a good one.